Hey guys, Rapid here. Another slot video discussing probably the most stupid drama that I've ever seen come out of the DBD community. Stuff that is completely overblown. Like, who actually cares, right? And I do kind of get surprised every other day the moment I open up Twitter for the DBD community. And of course, like, I probably shouldn't use Twitter as much. I try not to, because every day is kind of just a bit of a surprise. You know, there's been a screenshot floating around from a actual behavior developer, a VFX artist. I believe her name is Anna. And it was for the loading screen. You know, Dev by Deli always has loading screens for the anniversary, giving quotes from developers, artists, you know, all that. And this time around, there was a VFX artist who posted or gave their quote as, "I don't like Skull Merchant either," right? Just a throwaway joke comment. And for some odd reason, that went around, that made the rounds on Twitter to the point where this artist got incredible backlash for a comment that probably took 5 seconds to type out. And it got so bad to the point where this artist literally had to private their Twitter because I imagine they were getting a lot of harassment. They probably got DMs. They probably got all, I'm sure, like, it was, the DBD community on Twitter at least surprises me every day because it is not that serious, you know? And we've been seeing that a lot more recently where, you know, people already don't like certain aspects of DBD. You know, we already have the survivor rulebook of you can't play this way, you play too sweaty, or you're trying to win. And honestly, like, at the end of the day, that doesn't really matter that much. You know, someone play too sweaty, boohoo, go next. You don't like going against a killer, that's fine. That's your take, that's your preference. You know, people all the time might say, oh, they don't like going against Billy after his buff. You know, do I throw a hissy fit? No, because you're allowed to not like a killer. It's your take. It's not like I'm gonna yell at you, or you should be yelled at for having a preference, right? You might like going against more chase-oriented killers rather than gen defense, which is completely understandable. So it kind of baffles me to we're at the point of past just game preference, and we're just full on going, oh, you don't like this killer that I like? Now time to put you on blast, right? And I've seen a few tweets that got like thousands of likes, hundreds of comments about this literal one-off comment. And it's gotten so crazy to the point where people are literally calling for this artist to be fired for not liking a killer. Like, are we so for real? Firing for an opinion on a DLC character that, I'm gonna be honest, 90% of the community doesn't like either. You would be hard pressed to find many people at all that likes going as Skull Merchant. Same with Knight, same with other killers, twins, right? Their pick rate is really low. Not many people like going against them. Who cares? That's the nature of DBD. I don't think this matters. This is such a non-issue. And the fact that it drove people to go, yeah, you should be fired in the layoffs, you know, that behavior experienced last year, or that she should be harassed, or, you know, I even saw people mocking the way she looked, because I think she had her profile picture as her Twitter handle, right? And I'm kind of baffled. Like, do these people not understand the point of like a throwaway comment? Does it really matter that much to them that they don't like their main killer? And I even saw a few days ago that Aaron, I think Aaron made a throwaway tweet as well of saying like, oh, I've gotten really sick of going against Kaneki, or, you know, new Skull Merchant player, or sorry, Skull Merchant players have found a new brain dead killer to play, or something like that, right? And and that how both of them were pretty easy. And let's be honest, Kaneki first hit is pretty easy to get. Like, it's not hard. Like, it's basically a free hit when you put survivors into mend and you get your frenzy mode. That's pretty easy. Would I say Skull Merchant is extremely easy to play? I don't know, because they made a lot of changes, and I haven't really experimented with it, and I don't really care enough to experiment. But even if you don't like going at Skull Merchant, you think she's an easy killer, she's boring, whatever, he got an insane amount of flack too, to the point where he had to post almost like a twit longer, apologizing for comparison. And I don't know if it was satire or not. It didn't really seem too much like satire, but it's gotten to the point where, why are people, at least in the DBD community, why are the opinions taken so seriously to the point where we're like levying and condoning harassment? Or hell, even starting the harassment, right? I truly don't get that. And then we keep saying the old tried and true of backpedaling, right? The moment something gets a little bit out of hand, it's back. Oh, I didn't mean it that way. Even then, I think most people who are engaging in this type of crap overall, they just don't really care. And I don't really get it. I think if we're getting to the point of where somebody says they don't like your killer and you resort to sending harassment to them, insulting them on a personal level, and calling for them to literally be fired over it, I think it's time to take a break from the game. And I think, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think that person's is very valued in the community. I think we'd be way better off without people calling for other people to lose their job over a opinion on a video game, by the way. Yeah, I'm a bit lost for words, because when I was told about this last night while I was streaming, it seems almost like Looney Tunes. Like, it's a bit hard to believe, and I'm still having a hard time believing it. Because I've seen about everything when it comes to DBD. I've seen devs get into their own controversy over the past few years, for any reason. I remember when a developer got into hot water for responding the incorrect way about colorblind accessibility, or, you know, just tons of other stuff where, you know, some flack may be, you know, criticism may be warranted, but I've never seen such a sensitive response towards somebody saying that they don't like a specific killer. 90+% of people already don't like them. So I don't know what we're getting at, really. So I think the people who are causing the harassment or taking these things so literally need to take a long break from the internet. Anyways, that's just my overall thoughts on it. Yeah, I hope you enjoy the slot videos. Nothing too crazy going on. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.